Hi, everybody. Welcome to the final of the Summer 22 iteration of Pop Solos. We are joined by the four people vying for this championship. They all won they all advanced through two matches in the top bracket to be here. They are in order tonight: Matt Marcotte, Ben Kitchen, Jason Hess, and Dan Burgess. Dan is a former champion. Matt is making his first finals appearance, but has done really well in this format before. So we're looking forward to seeing what everybody can do on this set tonight. We will go ahead and get started by me doing this and hoping that the questions show up. Okay. All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Yep. Good luck to everyone. Again, it's sort of 30. I give a 10-second warning, and then it's kind of 3 on the bonus passing. So I will say, like, that's a pass if I am ruling that it's passed. Let's go. Matt, what captain of the Galactica was portrayed by Edward James Olmos on Sci-Fi's reboot from 2004 to 2009?
Captain Adama.
Captain William Adama is correct. Next.
Thank you for not asking for first name.
Yeah, they don't say it very much. The films scored by King of Disco producer Giorgio Moroder include what Richard Gere film in which Gere plays Julian Kay, the title resident of Westwood, who becomes a suspect in the murder of Julia Ryman?
I believe this is American Gigolo.
It is American Gigolo, and
premiering on Showtime tonight.
Fair enough. Oh, is that a series? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they turned it into a TV series. Yeah,
everything will eventually be a TV series. What song was the last instrumental to hit #1 on the Billboard chart? Doing so in 2013 because of a viral trend. Its only lyrics were a sample of a Plastic Little song from 2001, mentioning the dance the song was named for.
Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake is correct, and that's 3 for 3 to start. Ben, of the 4 teams that joined the NHL in the 1979 merger with the World Hockey Association, which one, before it moved, was known for playing the song Brass Bonanza after goals and for having a 52-year-old Gordie Howe in its first NHL season?
The Whalers?
It is the Hartford Whalers.
I love Brass Bonanza.
Me too. Next, Ben, nominated for Oscars for the role of Ben Logan in a 2000 film and Masood Birani in a 2003 film, what extremely acclaimed actor had an early career role on British soap opera Coronation Street?
Ben Kingsley?
It is Ben Kingsley, whose name is Ben and played a character named Ben in Your Ben.
So hey!
Next. One of the playable baddies in Disney's Villainous board game, what villain's deck includes cards like Smash It with a Hammer and Henchman Kronk?
Yzma?
Yzma, Y-Z-M-A from The Emperor's New Groove is correct, and nobody's missed any so far. Jason, Sam Claflin played Mycroft and Henry Cavill played Sherlock in what Millie Bobby Brown-led film that ended up being direct to Netflix during the 2020 pandemic?
Enola Holmes?
Enola Holmes is correct. Next, what Italian cheese originating in the region of Lazio to begin with is named for its place of origin and the fact that it is made from sheep's milk? A historic staple food among legionaries, this cheese is saltier than the similar cheeses of other regions and often graded atop food. Ten seconds.
Parmesan Reggiano?
Is not. Dan?
Pass.
Matt?
Gonna try Pecorino Romano.
Pecorino Romano is correct.
Yep.
Gone for it. Damn.
You needed both parts, right?
I did.
Yeah, I went for the wrong. Which part was the region incorrectly?
Next, Jason. Though 1994 is far beyond Driven hit #1, consistent sales have propelled what 1992 Pantera album to be the band's best seller. Tracks include Walk and Mouth for War.
Pass.
Dan?
I'm very ashamed to pass. I'm from Dallas. Damn it.
Ben?
Pass.
Matt?
I am from Dallas. Vulgar Display of Power
is correct. Vulgar Display of Power. I am reliably informed this is our first ever metal quad, which is crazy. I couldn't believe that when I found that out. Dan, Now owned by the Wyndham Group, what motel chain featuring orange roofs was the largest restaurant chain in the US during the 1960s and 1970s? The last restaurant with this name closed in 2022, but 299 hotels remain.
Howard Johnson.
Is correct, or Howard Johnson's. Nobody's sure. Next. What word exploded into the popular lexicon after a Vine went viral in which a young woman was handed an empty Coca-Cola can, laments that it's empty, and chucks it down a school hallway full of people?
This bitch empty. Yeet.
Yeet is correct. That's why yeet means throwing. And next, Dan. Wrestlers often name their finishing moves after pop culture references they love. Bam Bam Bigelow shared a hometown with Bruce Springsteen and called his sit-out pile driver the greetings from what town?
Asbury Park.
Yes. Greetings from Asbury Park, named after the debut album. So 3 for 3 on that. And Matt's picked up both bonuses to take a 5-3-1-3 lead. We're back to the top with Matt. Matt, TV matriarch Aunt Vivian Banks was played by 2 different actresses on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Name either.
Holmes?
Is incorrect. Ben?
I'm sad to pass, but I have to pass.
Jason? Dan?
Also pass.
They are Janet Hubert, the first one, and Daphne Maxwell Reid.
Reed.
Oh, that's right.
Matt, of the 4 WHA teams that joined the NHL in 1979, which one, before it moved and was then reconstituted, was known for a tradition of fans dressing for a whiteout and for being the home of the great Dale Hawerchuk in the 80s?
Quebec Nordiques?
It is not. Ben?
I'm going to pass.
Jason?
I'll reluctantly pass as well.
Dan?
Winnipeg Jets.
Right. Yes.
That's what it is.
There have been 2 Jets. The one that is the Coyotes and the one that is not. Matt. Often described as squeaky, what high melting point cheese from Cyprus is often grilled or fried as a meat substitute. It is traditionally made from a mix of sheep and goat milk.
This is not a good set for me. Feta?
It is not. Ben?
Halloumi?
Halloumi is correct.
That's what you know from the joke. If you've ever wanted to try eating a giant novelty pencil eraser, try halloumi.
I like halloumi, but I also used to eat pencil erasers. Ben, who is the only woman in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Co-owner of the Newark Eagles and treasurer of the Negro National League, she advocated for compensation when previously white major league teams started signing black players.
I've heard this fact before. Smith.
It is not. Jason?
Stone?
No. Dan?
Pass.
Matt?
Pass.
Effa Manley.
Yes.
She is interesting because everyone knows her husband was black, but no one is 100% sure if she was or not. It's an interesting story. She never said, like kind of intentionally. Like
Interesting.
Yeah. Ben, what important character, mentioned vaguely even in the original Star Wars film, was played by Jimmy Smits in episodes 2 and 3, Rogue One, and Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Jeez.
10 seconds.
General Grievous.
It's not. Jason?
Is Organa enough?
Yes, Bail Organa,
Bail,
Senator Organa.
yeah.
Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars.
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Ben, though 1986's Peace Sells But Who's Buying is often featured on critic lists, what 1992 Megadeth album that hit number 2 was the band's best seller? Tracks include Symphony of Destruction and Sweating Bullets.
Oh, I have Symphony of Destruction on my phone. This isn't Rust in Peace.
It is not. Dan?
I have to pass.
Jason?
I pass. I can't get it.
Matt?
Pass.
It is Countdown to Extinction.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll tell you, high school me is so ashamed at me for
Yeah.
this squad right now.
And
Oh, boy.
Jason? In his 1994 interview on Barbara Walters' 10 Most Fascinating People, who said, "No, I don't intend to be calling plays in the fourth quarter with Barry Switzer."
Jerry Jones?
Yes.
Well done.
Jerry Jones. He did, and that didn't go well. Anyway, Jason. Now owned by the Wyndham Group, what yellow and red logo motel chain's original 1970s models were often stucco with English Tudor style exteriors? They are not to be confused with a similarly named chain started in Santa Barbara in 1962.
Red Roof Inn?
It is not. Dan?
Pass.
Ben?
Super 8.
It is Super 8, not
That's
Motel
it.
6.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the. Jason, Giorgio Moroder composed the music for what widely panned film, in which Richard Pryor's bumbling computer genius Gus Gorman initially helps villain Ross Webster try to corner the world's coffee supply.
Superman 4?
Incorrect, Dan?
Superman 3.
Correct. Sorry about that.
Sorry, man.
All the relevant information except the right number. Sorry about that. Yeah, Superman 3.
That is Superman 3 is Superman 4 is even worse.
It is. People didn't even bother to think it might be good as much as Superman 3. Dan, what film starring Sandra Dee and Troy Donahue spawned an instrumental theme recorded by Percy Faith that set a record for 9 weeks at number 1 in 1960?
A Summer Place.
It's the theme from A Summer Place. All right. Dan, nominated for Oscars twice, including for the role of Kayla Pospisil in a 2019 film and a real person in a 2017 film. What actor had an early career role on Aussie soap opera Neighbors?
Margot Robbie.
It is Margot Robbie. That other one was that Fox News one, which was called Bombshell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Dan, one of the playable baddies in Disney's Villainous board game. What villain's deck includes cards like Friends on the Other Side, and Rule New Orleans?
I know who voices them. What the hell are they called? Baron Samdi.
It is not, Matt.
Professor Facilier?
Dr. Facilier is the
Okay.
correct answer. I'll accept that. There we go. Yep. So Dan with a little bit of a comeback there. 2 bonuses that round, 7, 6, 5. And Jason in fourth with 3. It was very swingy already, so who knows, right? Anyway.
I kind of know.
I've gotten rid of one of my sports questions, so that's great.
Here doesn't come another one. Opened in San Antonio in 1968 and named for a word meaning country house rather than fifth, what motel chain is now owned by the Wyndham Group?
Oh, La Quinta.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm like,
Next,
I sympathize, Jason.
who is the only woman to play in an NHL game? A preseason appearance in goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning in 1992 made her the first woman to appear in a Big Four professional game of any kind.
Johnson.
No. Ben?
Pass.
Jason?
Manon Rhéaume.
Manon Rhéaume is
Again.
correct, or Hume, I'm not sure. And Matt. Kyle MacLachlan played Thomas Edison, and Ethan Hawke played the title figure in what film that ended up being released via premium VOD in August 2020?
Tesla.
It is Tesla. a movie which very few people cared about it during it came out. Ben, in 2016, 6-year-old Terrence Jackson went viral after a Vine was posted of him saying which star athlete's name repeatedly with a charming, lazy cadence.
LeBron James.
It is that. You didn't have to pronounce it that way, but we appreciate that you did. Next, TV daughter Becky Connor was played by 2 different actresses on Roseanne, even appearing in alternate episodes at times during season 8. Name either.
Gilbert.
No. Dan?
Chalky.
Yeah, Sarah Chalk or Chalky from who ended up on
Oh yeah.
Scrubs
Leslie
and
Gordon is the other.
Rick and Morty.
Yep, bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I didn't realize that fact until I started reading this.
Remind me who the other one is. I'm
Sarah,
Lacey Goranson.
Lacey Goranson, I think.
Yeah.
yeah. Tougher pull.
Then, a spoken word intro was cut from the single release One Step Beyond, the title track of what horn-infused band's 1979 debut album. The instrumental track would reach number 1 on the French charts. Ten seconds.
The English Beat.
It is not. Jason?
Pass.
Dan?
Pass.
Matt?
Pass.
It's just madness.
Oh.
Okay.
Didn't choose the word ska because that seemed a little linear. But
Gotcha.
Jason. Though depicted as being from ancient Egypt, what X-Men villain was portrayed by Latino actor Oscar Isaac in 2016?
Getting the right word. Apocalypse.
Yes, it is Apocalypse. That movie was bad.
My brain went a little bad.
This is a Latinos in sci-fi quad, if you couldn't tell. Jason, nominated for Oscars for the roles of a title character in a 2008 film adapting a short story and a real person in a 2012 film. What actor had an early career role on Another World? Ten seconds.
No. Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's
wrong.
not. Ben?
Pass.
Dan?
Pass.
Matt?
Pass.
They're
Brad
Benjamin
Pitt?
Button and Billy
It is-
Dean. Yeah.
Oh, it is. I thought 2008 was too late for
It is,
Benjamin
it is,
Button.
it is Brad.
I nearly went with it because I knew 2008 was Benjamin Button.
Should have gone with it. Dang it.
Puzzle solving is. Let's see.
Jason. Kentucky gentleman Chuck Taylor's devastating finishing move is called the Awful Waffle, a reference to a punishment on what Nickelodeon show of the early 90s set at Camp Onawana.
God, Nickelodeon. Salute your shorts.
It is Salute Your
this
Shorts.
is-
That's correct. For a finishing move named the Awful Waffle, it looks terrifying. It's like anyway. Dan. Buttery and containing air pockets, what famous Spanish sheep milk cheese is named ultimately for a plateau and historic region?
Manchego.
It is. Next. In his 1997 interview on Barbara Walters' 10 Most Fascinating People, who said, I am, when you have 15 to 18,000 people out there, they don't want you to go out and apologize for not being the best. When asked who the world's greatest dancer was.
Flatley.
It is Michael Flatley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good guess.
No dearth of confidence with that guy. Finally, Dan, Giorgio Moroder composed the music for what may be kind of sort of remake of a 1932 Howard Hawks film in which Robert Loggia plays mentor Frank Lopez.
Oh, Scarface.
It is Scarface, yeah. It's a remake, but like I can't tell.
A loose remake, yes.
Yeah.
They took the premise of a gangster.
Yeah.
And added a lot of cocaine.
Yeah. And
On screen
chainsaws,
and
yes.
off.
All right. Yeah, Dan into on a stormer now with 11, but we'll go back to Matt. Vine star Adam Perkins, who passed away last year at age 24, is best remembered for a viral role Vine in which he inexplicably enters his home bathroom in nothing but boxer shorts and says, "Hi, welcome to what casual dining restaurant chain?"
Applebee's?
It's not. Ben?
Chili's.
It is
Oh,
Chili's.
that's
yes.
it.
Well.
I would have gone Applebee's too. Dang it.
Matt, one of the playable baddies in Disney's villainous board game, what villain's deck includes various forms like Crocodile and Purple Dragon, as well as Wizard's Duel?
Is this Maleficent?
It is not. Ben?
Pass.
Jason?
I'll pass.
Dan?
Who else was a purple dragon? Pass.
It's the villain from
did
The
I
Sword and the
say no
Stone.
purple dragons? Yeah, it's Mad Madam Mim.
It was
Oh.
Mim. That's what I had. Damn.
Mim is acceptable.
Yeah.
Matt, in his 2006 interview on Barbara Walters' 10 Most Fascinating People, who said, my message is that God is a good God, and if we all have the right attitude, that he'll take us places we never dreamed of, in an interview at Lakewood Church.
Joel Osteen?
Yeah, it's that wonderful man. Yes. Ben, Giorgio Moroder composed the well-known theme tune and rescored many scenes for what 1984 film featuring characters like the childlike Empress, the turtlesque Morla the Ancient One who is allergic to humans, and a wolf-like sub-villain called the Gamork.
This the Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, could It is. Could you sense my
Oh.
disdain for that film and the choices I made?
Yeah.
Wait, so
Gamork.
the wolf isn't called the Nothing? It's got an actual
the
different
nothing,
name?
the Gamork is like a
It's like its
minion of
emissary.
the Nothing.
It's like the Silver
it's
Surfer
like-
to
it-
the
It is.
Nothing's
It is like
Galactus.
this.
Gotcha.
That is
All right.
correct. Hence the word sub-villain. Yes.
Okay.
Ben, the titular agoraphobe Anna Fox is played by Amy Adams in what psychological thriller scheduled for a 2020 release that ended up going straight to Netflix in May 2021?
Oh no. The Woman in the Window.
The Woman in the Window. I am sure
Yeah.
you were
Between
worried
that and
about
girl.
what kind of person she was described as. Yes. Woman in the Window is correct. And finally, Kenny Omega's One-Winged Angel and You Can't Escape finishing moves, as well as the name Omega itself, are references to what long-running series of video games that epitomize the JRPG genre?
I think the One-Winged Angel is the antagonist of Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy is correct. Yeah. Jason, of the 4 WHA teams that joined the NHL in 1979, which one, before it moved, was the home of the Slovakian Stastny brothers and wore a jersey featuring a ring of fleur-de-lis?
Quebec Nordiques.
Is correct. Or fleurs de lis. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how you. I just left it singular. Next, DJ Dado hit #1 in Denmark with a remix of what TV show's theme in 1996. The original theme by Mark Snow hit #2 on the US charts and #1 in France. According to a 1996 album of music from the show, The Truth and the Light, this track's title was Materia Primoris.
X-Files.
Yes.
Good God.
And Bobby Ewing's childhood sweetheart Jenna Wade was played by 2 different actresses on Dallas, one of whom left for the lead in Flamingo Road, and the other of whom was already a celebrity when she took the role. Name one.
Ooh, I can actually name some Dallas actresses, but not this one probably. Let's try Priscilla Presley.
Yes, she replaced
Well
Morgan Fairchild. So those are the two most famous people in the quad so far, I would say. But yeah, good job. 3 for 3 on that one. Dan, the best-selling album by Tool, they are very, very close, is either 2001's Lateralis or what 1996 album? Tracks include Stinkfist and 46 and 2.
Enema.
Enema, Aenima is correct. This, yes. Stinkfist, of course, for some reason known as song number 2 on MTV. Dan, B'Elanna Torres on Star Trek Voyager and the grown-up Asuka Tano in The Mandalorian are both portrayed by actresses of Latina descent with what non-Latina surname?
Dawson.
Dawson, Rosario, and Roxanne Dawson, yes. Finally, soccer player Sarah Fuller was the first woman to appear in a Power 5 conference football game when she kicked for what college in November 2020?
Vanderbilt.
It is Vanderbilt. Good job. 11 out of 12 is real good. That's unprecedented thus far this week, which is appropriate for a D1 final. But yeah, going into round 5, we have Dan on 14 and also 10 and 2 9s. So should be interesting. Let's see what we get. Good luck, everybody. Matt, nominated for Oscars for the roles of the character Maggie, who goes by a pseudonym in a 1997 film, and Laura Brown from the 1950s plot in a 2022 multi-plot film. What actor had an early role on As the World Turns, for which she won a Daytime Emmy?
Julianne Moore.
It is Julianne Moore. Everybody, of course, goes by a pseudonym in the 1997 film. The other one is The Hours. Yeah. Next, Matt. Though 1988's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son also hit #1 in the UK, what 1982 album is Iron Maiden's bestseller? Tracks include Run to the Hills and Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Rest in Pieces.
It isn't. Ben?
Pass.
Jason?
Pass.
Dan?
I'll pass.
And the title track, Number of the Beast.
The Beast.
It is
Yeah.
Number of the Beast. I talked
Oh,
myself out of it.
I go for it. Round 5.
Yeah, that's the most guessable, I think.
Yeah.
Matt, Shinsuke Nakamura's knee to the head finisher was formerly known as the Bomaye, but changed because Bomaye is Bantu for kill him. It's now called the Kinshasa. Who was the loser of the 1974 boxing match referenced by these names?
Frazier.
No. Ben?
Foreman.
It is. That's the Rumble in the Jungle.
Wrong
correct.
side of the 50-50.
Ben, in her 2009 interview on Barbara Walters' 10 Most Fascinating People, who said they watched DVDs of our show and its family memories to them about her many children in the wake of a messy breakup with her husband.
Gosselin.
Yes, Kate Gosselin is acceptable. Yeah, I mean,
Minus John.
clearly
and
not.
H.
Yeah, it's clearly not John Gosselin. So I think we're good there. Ben, getting much of its distinctive flavor from butyric acid and penicillium, what sheep milk cheese is aged in the famed Kombaloo caves of its namesake region?
Hmm. I should know this.
Seconds.
Cheddar.
It's not. Jason?
I'll try. Roquefort.
It is Roquefort. That's the
Oh,
caves the shepherd
yeah.
boy allegedly left his lunch inside of.
Yeah. Very nice.
And finally, Ben, the largest independent hotel brand in the UK shares its portmanteau name with what US motel brand owned by the Wyndham Group? Possibly the earliest still surviving such chain in the US. It formerly employed a mascot called Sleepy Bear, wearing pajamas with its blue and white logo.
Travelodge.
It is Travelodge, correct, for 13. Jason, a viral Vine in 2015 was caught in the club as a group of women were attempting to take a selfie on a cell phone, but accidentally had which utilitarian app on the screen instead, though obviously not useful given what they were trying to do.
I keep thinking of the Nelly Kelly thing. No, the text messaging app.
It isn't. Dan?
Calculator.
It is. Trying to take a selfie with a calculator. And Jason? One of the playable baddies in Disney's Villainous board game. What villain's deck includes the cards Beautiful, Lovely Taxes and Rhino Guards?
This makes no sense, but Frollo.
It's not, Matt?
This is the Queen of Hearts?
It's not, Dan.
John.
Prince John is correct
Oh,
from Robin
yeah.
Hood. Yes. And Jason, a legend at Old Dominion in the late 1970s, what women's basketball player joined the men's professional U.S. basketball league with the Springfield Fame in 1986 after a stint with the Lakers Summer League team in 1981?
Sorry. God, I knew her name as a kid, but
10 seconds.
Stewart.
Nope. Matt?
Pass.
Harris?
No.
Oh.
Dan?
Well, that was gonna be my guess, so I'm done. Pass.
It's Nancy Lieberman Klein or Nancy Lieberman.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So technically Dan has to stop Ben from getting 3 bonuses. So here we go. Dan, while the two Darrens, Dick Sargent and Dick York, are better known, what nosy neighbor character on Bewitched was replaced by Sandra Gould when Alice Pierce passed away of cancer in 1966?
Pass.
Okay, Matt?
Pass.
Pass.
Ben?
Unfortunately, pass.
It's Gladys, the nosy.
Oh, yeah, Gladys Crap.
I could have given you Alice Pierce, but I had no idea what the character's name was.
Good job, Ben.
That's interesting. I did not anticipate that, which is why the question is written that way. But
Well, that's just because I've memorized all the Emmy winners like a crazy person.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Dan, Ferdia Shaw played the title Criminal Mastermind, and Josh Gad played Dwarven Thief Mulch Diggums in what widely panned adaptation of an Eowyn Colfer novel that headed straight to Disney Plus in 2020?
Artemis Fowl.
It is Artemis Fowl. And of the 4 WHA teams that joined the NHL in 1979, which one has stayed in the same city? Their success in the 1980s under coach Glenn Sather was led partially by very fast skaters Paul Coffey and Yari Curry.
Definitely the 2 most famous people on that team. The Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I kind of didn't mention Messi
Yeah,
and
but I know.
Gretzky for what I think are fair reasons. Well done, Dan. Dan, that's a win. And a nice double bronze. The Olympics have to give out more medals now, which is always a nice feeling. Yeah, well done, Dan. That's
Thank you. I
second
got lucky. I
title.
would have done much worse in any other seat. So that was a stroke of luck.
Yeah,
That's a big.
I had a string of very lucky seats, and that came to an end today.
All right. So yeah, congratulations. We have the the ritualistic reading of the other questions just for the sake of people who are watching this and want to hear more stuff.
Hell yeah.
People can shout at me. These are what would have been.
Well, if that's the purpose, we want to wait till the end of the question before we.
Yeah, we should wait.
Okay. In virtually all appearances, what single word appears on the upturned bill of the cap of Spike Lee's character Mars Blackman? He played this character in She's Gotta Have It in a series of commercials with Michael Jordan.
Dodgers.
It isn't.
Hmm.
Is it
It's a
Brooklyn?
proper noun. It is Brooklyn. Yeah.
No, guess wrong.
Brooklyn.
Similar to Dodgers.
I
Sometimes
know it was a Brooklyn
it's-
Dodgers cap. I just didn't know what it looked like. Yeah.
It isn't. It isn't exactly it. The Dodgers jersey is from the other.
Oh,
game.
I'm thinking of the jersey.
It,
That's
it
right.
just is black and says Brooklyn on it. The death of Michelle Snow in 1987 precipitated the probably correct banning of what outdoor activity product?
Lawn darts.
The lawn darts, correct. Also the finishing move of Johnny Gargano. Anyway, what still imitated 5-word phrase was the tagline for PSAs featuring the characters on the G.I. Joe cartoon in the 1980s?
The more you
Half the battle.
And
Oh,
knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is
Is
half
half
the
the
battle.
battle.
Yeah,
Yes,
knowing is half.
yes.
5-word
No,
phrase.
no.
The more you know is 4. The more you know.
That's an
Uh,
He knows NB was NBC.
Yeah.
In what city, Dan, is the real Minnesota State University, which took that name in 1998 and is therefore not to be confused with the fictional school from the sitcom Coach?
Is this Minnesota State University in Mankato?
It is Mankato, yes.
Very
They're called the
nice. That's a
Mankato
toughie, boy.
Stompers. Yeah.
All right.
A sidecar, a Long Island iced tea, and a Mai Tai all have some ingredients in common, but what is the only alcoholic ingredient commonly seen in all three?
Rum.
Rum?
It isn't rum.
Randy?
Sidecar is
Randy?
gin.
Sidecar?
Somebody said something that sounded like it was right.
Brandy.
Yeah, cognac or brandy.
It's going to be it's going to be or curacao or something. It's going to be the other ingredient.
Oh, it's triple sec. That's
It's
what
triple
it's
sec.
triple
It is triple sec.
Oh.
The listing here is except orange
Yeah.
liqueur, curacao, or the triple sec brand Cointreau do not accept Grand Marnier.
How
Oh,
do you get
that's
triple sec as a
evil.
liqueur?
That's a
Yeah.
great question.
Yeah.
That is evil.
Um, and finally, what automaker that formerly made the Amigo and the Trooper ceased passenger auto sales in the United States in 2009?
This is
It is a Suzu. Next, the best known musical figure to appear in the film Fight Club is Meatloaf, but Ed Kowalczyk makes a cameo as a waiter and is the lead singer of what band?
Live.
Live is correct.
Is it Jared Leto also in Fight Club?
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
he's 30 Seconds
yeah,
to Mars, baby.
I would describe him
Yeah.
not as, if you described Jared Leto as a musical figure in a question, everyone would punch you in the face.
That's
So,
true.
that's
Isn't
not-
the guy from Dog Star and John Wick speaking of
what
I love
beloved-
Phantom Planet and Rushmore.
What beloved celebrity appears as police detective trying to arrest the band Cameo in their video for Word Up?
LeVar Burton?
It is LeVar Burton.
Well done.
Good job.
That's
A beloved celebrity, I would say. And
He
finally,
is a beloved celebrity.
who plays Nicholas Angel's ex-girlfriend Janine, a crime scene investigator in the film Hot Fuzz?
Kate Blanchett.
Is
Yes.
she never
Beat me
removes her
to it,
surgical
dang.
mask, but her eyes and voice are very.
Oh, I didn't realize the question wasn't over. Sorry.
It's fine. It's
Oh,
fine. I mean, I think that's just a add-on. I have a triple verified question for you here for the estimator question. The song "Don't You Forget About Me" by Simple Minds from the Breakfast Club soundtrack concludes with the word "law" sung many times in succession, not including the echoing laws behind the final "When You Walk On By and You Call My Name." How many times does the lead sing "law" consecutively? This was verified on half speed.
That I know how many I knows are in Ain't No Sunshine, but I don't know this one. This is a new one to me.
A reasonably close first guess from Jason. A slightly less close. Okay, an equally close guess from Matt. Save us, Ben. Oh no! All right, he guessed the same as Dan. So Jason and Matt tie, and we have to go to another tiebreaker, which I don't have. But the correct answer is 55. There are a few that
Okay.
you could like. I had to do half speed because is it a slurred
La,
la or is it la
la.
la? That was a constant issue. But
I nearly used how many times does jump appear in jump around as a tiebreaker once?
that's
Isn't-
not a bad one.
Matt, did you guess 42 or 68?
42.
Jason
Oh.
guessed 68, Matt guessed 42.
Oh my God,
And then Dan
wow.
and Ben both guessed 40. So
Isn't 41 Let It Be's and Let It Be?
possibly.
I
I
tried
don't know.
counting it in my head one round of it and I got to 17. So I said, hey, let's say there's 4 of them. Yeah.
if you had thought there was if only you had thought there was 3 of them. It was very close. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
the season.
Yeah, very
Everybody
good
have a
game, guys.
Next
Yeah,
season,
absolutely
for
played
those
well.
of you watching this for promotional reasons, will start in early October. I'll have a sign up announcement pretty soon, or like early to mid October.
Oh, wow.
The best way to put that. So, just to get us done by Christmas. So, all right. Thanks to everybody for
All right.
being here, and thanks
All right.
for watching, and thanks for playing.
Thanks, guys.
Great game.